You gotta stop. Okay, it's not that easy. Here's the thing about self-doubt. It's not really just a feeling, it's a pattern. You see an opportunity, you get excited, and then you start feeling like, oh, can I really do it? You start thinking, you're not qualified enough. What if I fail? What if people judge me? What if somebody could do it better than me? The thoughts aren't necessarily random, they're actually your brain's attempt to try to protect you from pain. But in trying to keep you safe, it's keeping you small. What's the cost? Your dreams, your potential, and the impact you could be making right now. What do you mean it's keeping me small? You need to be thinking big. When you're thinking small, you can only see so much of the picture, but there's a wider array of things that you're capable of. So first is evidence stacking. Instead of focusing on what could go wrong, start collecting evidence of your actual capabilities. So make a wins folder on your phone of screenshots of achievements, whatever it may be that you're proud of, because then when you start feeling doubtful about yourself, you just open it. And it's not about having an ego, it's an actual self-assessment. I used to feel super weird about that, like, ooh, am I having a big ego? But really it does help, because if you don't know what you've done, you won't remember it, and then you won't understand what you're capable of. Number two is fear flipping. Take your biggest fear and flip it. So if it's, what if I fail? Then it immediately becomes, what if I succeed beyond my wildest dreams? Now I know that's a little bit extra, and it's not just positive thinking, but it's actually given equal airtime to positive possibilities. Your brain is biased toward negative outcomes. We're balancing on somewhat of a scale. And the reason why this is important is because if you're thinking it, your mind doesn't know the difference between sarcasm, a joke, or anything. So whatever you tell it is going to be. Number three, action anchoring. Link every moment of doubt to an immediate action. So if you're doubting your business idea, send one email to a potential client. If you're worried about your fitness journey, put on your gym shoes right now. Action slaps anxiety in the face, not gonna lie. And if you want to get that done, get to it. Anxiety kind of needs a little bit of a waiting period, right? Sometimes anxiety just comes and jumps you, if you know what I'm talking about. But honestly, it usually stews for a little bit. Try to think about catching anxiety, if that makes sense, and not having anxiety. So if you go outside, and I know people are going to say, you don't get sick because it's cold outside, you get sick because your immune system is weak. Don't worry about all that. But just pretend if you went outside and the weather was not great, you get sick. So you go outside, say that weather is anxiety. Going outside, oh, anxiety's coming. I'm going to put that jacket on. I'm going to put that coat on. I'm going to bundle up because I'm going to prepare before it even gets to me. If you're driving down the street, you slow down before you hit that stop sign. You prepare yourself to stop. So you need to prepare yourself in the same way to get going. You got this thing. You got this thing. You don't need to be worried about it. Now, when you want to change something, you have to know exactly what it is. So self-doubt and overthinking are related, but they have distinct differences. I used to think that they were just alike. So self-doubt is the feeling of uncertainty about your abilities, decisions, or self-worth. It's kind of that inner voice that's questioning whether you're good enough or not, or if you're capable of handling certain things, which can lead to hesitation or avoidance, especially when it comes to taking action or making decisions, even if you really want to make them. Overthinking, on the other hand, is when you are excessively dwelling on a particular situation or decision or a problem and imagining like different outcomes or worrying about what could go wrong. So it can be a form of mental spiraling in that way, where you get stuck in an endless loop of thoughts, which usually leads to like some sort of confusion or stress, and it can even lead to self-doubt. So essentially, self-doubt focuses on questioning your own abilities. Overthinking focuses more on obsessing over situations or scenarios and imagining potential issues. Overthinking can sometimes amplify self-doubt, but they aren't actually the same thing. I still do this, I'm not gonna lie, because it kind of depends on the situation. I know I've said this a little bit before. I took my little personality test, and I can be super optimistic about other people. But when it comes to me, I just don't tend to believe it sometimes. And so instead of doubting, replacing the language is going to change your life. Before I start telling you the tips, that's going to change your life. Even starting this YouTube, I was like, oh, what if no one sees the video? What if no one sees the video? But what if they do see the video? What if they do? Okay, I'm scared. What if I don't do well in this class? But what if I do well in this class? Ooh, I want to do this race. What if I don't make it through the race? What if I do make it through the race? Oh, I want to pitch this idea, but I don't know if it's good enough. What if it is good enough? You'll never know what if anything until you actually do it. That's kind of the catch. You're gonna put yourself out there a little bit. Don't worry, we're gonna lock in. I like to call this the bold action protocol. I don't know, I just think it's a good name, but low-key, now that I'm saying it out loud, yeah. Anyway, step 1, set a 5-minute timer. Nothing more, nothing less. Step 2, write down your self-doubt thought. And then below that, write, but what I know for sure is. In step 4, List 3 concrete facts that contradict your doubt. It doesn't have to be 3, but try to shoot for 3. Step 5, choose one action that you can take within the next hour. Step number 6, do it before the timer ends. It's important to do this all together, so make sure you have the time to do it. But this works because it's combining psychological research on pattern interruption with immediate action. When you force your brain to find counter evidence and then you take immediate action, you create a new neural pathway that is bypassing that self-doubt. And if you're like, oh, that's too fast, watch, I'll do it with you. One of my self-doubt thoughts, I'm being vulnerable here, is that people aren't gonna like my music. I am a musician, but I haven't dropped anything yet. So I'm gonna write that down. People aren't gonna like my music, but under that I'm gonna write, but what I know for sure is I've put my all into it. People that have heard it liked it, and I've been given the opportunity to record. So then that's me listing those 3 concrete facts that contradict my doubt. Then I'm gonna choose one action that I can take in the next hour. I'm going to finish a song enough to where it needs to be cleaned up to take it to the studio. I'm gonna do that before the timer ends. Remember, self-doubt isn't your enemy. It's just like outdated software. Think about the person that's in the group chat that you always have to update them because they don't ever show up in real life. It's not something to eliminate. You just have to learn to act on it anyway. Your future self is waiting on the other side of that bold action. So it's your turn. Remember, doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. What is one action that you've been putting off that you really want to do? Share it in the comments below, and let's make this the day that everything changes. Hit subscribe for more, and what else do you do? Oh, hit that notification bell. And join the community of action takers. Y'all, it's not about being perfect. It's just about trying our best. Bye.